investigation, solving mysteries in the night. Chasing shadows, finding answers, shining bright light. No one's left behind, in the darkness all alone. With a heart like a siren, she brings the lost ones home. Silent cries in the dark no longer have to be, for justice wheels keep turning, granny on the beat. Broken voices find their power, call out hope again. When these crime busters run, no victims left in vain. Bravery in her veins, truth she won't disguise. With a fire in her eyes, she's got nothing to deny. Granny fights for justice, never backs down from the call. For the voiceless and the missing, she'll stand tall.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Good to see you all. Lori, Ginger, hello. Prayer Warrior, Kate, hello. Good to see you guys. And those who are hiding in the bushes, welcome in. Jay, good to see you. Let's get started with our spotlight on the missing. If I can get it to come up here. Come on. All right. There we go. All right. So we have Jack Philip Jack. His name is Jack, guys. Weird. What parent would do that to their child? Missing since July 29th, last seen in Suffolk, Virginia. He's 17 years old. Jack does have a condition and may be in need of medical attention. So if anybody knows anything about where Jack may be or anything about his disappearance, please call the Suffolk, Virginia Police Department or 911. Need to get our kids home, don't we? Let's not forget about Jonathan Wang, 21-year-old autistic young man, believed to be in the Kirkland, Washington area. His parents are very worried about him. Believed to be lured away by somebody online. Could be in danger. We don't know. He presents himself as an 8 or 9-year-old, guys, so it's important that he gets home. His only social interaction was mainly with his family, so he's not comfortable out on the streets for sure. Let's not forget about our little buddy, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian has been gone since last seen February 25th, 2024. He needs to be home with his dad. You know, I don't know what else I can say, right? He just needs to be home with his dad. Travis Decker is still out there somewhere, guys. They've scaled back the search on him. And I mean, I'm not sure why. I don't understand that because his ex-wife has got to be frightened, in my opinion. He's wanted for taking the lives of his 3 babies, for 3 counts of first-degree red rum and 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping, for taking the lives of his 3 little girls seen here, Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, seen with their mom. So, all right. Let's see what I'm missing here. All right. Hello, Bonnie. Good to see you. The name Jack, yeah, it's probably cute while he's a baby. As he got older, probably not so much. Yeah, sometimes when you see certain names, it's like, what were the parents thinking, right? What were they thinking? Just weird. Hello, Osprey. Good to see you. Truth and Beauty. Hello, hello. Walla, hello. Yeah, it finally cooled off here a little bit. I was glad. I was pretty much living in my bedroom for about a week because I have a room air conditioner in my bedroom and it was too hot out in the rest of the house. So today's the first day I came back into the main living area. So I know we have mentioned it, or you guys have mentioned it in chat about the Devil's Den red rums. And so today I just kind of wanted to share just an update on it, kind of an overview and update on it. You guys had talked about it, so I thought we'd just touch base on it. Let's see here, right here. All right.
Well, Arkansas State Police making an arrest in the murders of a married couple while they were just out hiking with their 2 young kids. 28-year-old James Andrew McGann is accused of killing Clinton and Kristen Brink Saturday in Devil's Den State Park, a busy park there. He is being charged with 2 counts of capital murder, and Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders saying this about the arrest: "Let there be no mistake. We do not tolerate violent crime in Arkansas. If you target innocent people, law enforcement will hunt you down and bring you to justice." And that is exactly what happened here. Criminal defense attorney Donna Rotuno is a Fox News contributor joining us now after reading through some of what just happened here. Donna, I know it's early, but what do we know about this guy? I know that he was a teacher, so he was around a lot of kids. I mean, this is just shocking.
Hi, Aisha. How are you? It really is a shocking story and so unfortunate. My goodness, 2 parents of 2 young children out hiking and enjoying their time together in the summer. Unbelievable. I mean, obviously, this man has passed background checks. That's how he was able to work in school. So clearly, he has no background. Who knows what's going on here? Who knows if this is a psychotic episode? So far, it doesn't seem that there's been any connection between the parents and this killer, basically. I mean,
Guys, look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Would you want that teaching your child? He reminds me, those eyes. How many times we see in the eyes, right? Brian Koberger. Oh,
I know this is a point where it's alleged, but I mean, there seems to be no connection whatsoever. This does not seem to be targeted in any way, and no reason why the children were spared. And this is just an awful story.
Yeah, and they found him so quickly. I want to read a quick statement from Arkansas State Police here. This is Mike Hager. He says a collaboration between state police, other state and local law enforcement agencies, and our federal partners has been second to none. And because of their hard work and investigative skill, we were able to take a monster off the streets and bring relief to those 2 precious girls and the rest of our citizens. I found it so fascinating, and maybe you can get into his head a little bit here. He was found at a barber shop getting his hair cut. I mean, just living his life like it was normal.
Yeah, it's definitely very bizarre behavior, and to just sort of go on and not really be hiding out in any way definitely seems quite bizarre. So we're probably going to really get into the mental background of him and the fact that he did leave his other school fairly quickly, it seemed, and moved to another state. So who knows if we're going to uncover anything in his previous area of residence. And this is just an awful situation and those poor children.
Donna, do we think he knew this family? He didn't harm the girls, the 2 little girls that, I can't even imagine what they saw and heard and what they went through and what they're dealing with now. But he didn't harm them.
Yeah, you wonder if that comes from his background as an educator and he just has some type of sympathy toward children. It doesn't seem that there's any connection between these parties, but I guess time will tell us. I mean, as of now, we're not being told that. They did find him quickly, so I don't know what information they have that was able to, lead them to this quick arrest, but I'm sure in the next coming days, we're going to find.
So from what I understand from the news conference, he injured himself when he was stabbing this couple. His blood left at the scene. They were able to get a DNA profile made up. That's how they found him. Okay. Also there was, they got the DNA profile, got the name, they got a picture of him from, people that were in the area, people that even saw the car. His car was picked up leaving that site. So I mean, they got things done really quickly, very, very quickly, to be able to catch this guy. And he did confess, by the way. So there won't be a big long trial, I don't think, unless he changes his mind. And there is no known nothing to link these people together with him. Nothing at all. Just a random attack, basically.
And not much more.
Okay. Donna Rutuno on this just gruesome, horrific story. Very scary. So many people hike in that area, and this has just been hard to digest here.
Yeah.
So thanks for being on with us. Thanks, Donna.
Thanks.
So can you imagine, guys, going on a hike with your family and having that happen, and the little girl's able to run away? Yeah. Manson, BTK, Koberger. I agree. 100%. 100%. Yes. That was another one that I'll probably, maybe do a little overview tomorrow. Crazy. Yes, the world has gone mad. It has. It's upside down. It's sickening, right? It's awful. Yes. Evil eyes, scary looking, soulless. Yes. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, with those 4 people, they abandoned the baby on a porch. Getting a haircut for that mugshot, maybe, I don't know. It didn't help. I mean, it didn't help. Didn't matter. He needed to do something with his eyes. Thank you, trees. I appreciate it. With he's sick. I don't know. But thank God they caught him right away. Who knows what else he would have. These were just random people. And imagine what those I heard those little girls are 7 and 9. That's horrific. They watched their parents being stabbed, guys. No child should have to go through that. None. I mean, seriously. No child should ever have to go through that. What they're going to have to live with, they're going to need a lot of counseling. Yeah, a teacher. A teacher. Would you want that thing teaching your children or grandbabies? I wouldn't. Yeah, I've heard that. The knife slips, right? Because it gets wet and they end up slicing themselves. So yeah, I've heard that too. I wonder if Koberger got hurt. We don't know, Lori. We do not know. And, you know, if he just pleads guilty, we may never know. He had tape covering his license plate, so he must have at minimum planned on doing something, probably. Yeah, they're old enough to remember it, unfortunately. You know, Prayer Warrior, Brenda, Joe, and I talked about this, right? Because many of you know I like Donny Osmond, right? If you saw my members only video, you've seen that. And he was coming to a town a couple hours away from here. And it was going to be a big arena. And we both looked at each other and I was like, you know what? I don't know that I want to go, to a big event anymore, right? Just scary. You hear of, things happening in concerts like that. And I mean, there was that one woman who was running on a hiking trail, mother of 5, and she was red rummed by a random man. So yeah. Yep. Hiding in plain sight, right? You just never know. Exactly, Lori. Exactly. Makes you not want to leave your home, right? It's just scary. It's just scary. To go to a big venue these days, I just don't, for anything, right? For anything, whether it's music, politics, doesn't matter, right? It's gonna you're taking your life in your hands because you don't know what could happen. Yes, Osprey, your eyes are the windows to your soul. What does his eyes say? Yes, he had just recently moved there, and so had that family. Oh, that's so scary. The thought that someone could be teaching our children. Yes, actually, he did. He sang happy birthday to me, Osprey. You'd have to go to my members only video. I played the video of him singing happy birthday to me. We went for my Brenda, Joe, and I went for my 65th birthday to Vegas because I had never seen Donny Osmond in concert ever. So it was one of the things I wanted to do before I die, right? On my bucket list. And so I thought, what better time to do it than on my 65th birthday? So actually, on my birthday, we got tickets for his show in the second row. And yes, he sang happy birthday to me. It was something. Yeah, you're right, Brian. Sometimes you're not safe even in your own home. Yeah. Yeah. I've thought about getting security cameras. Thought about it, but I haven't done it yet. Yeah. You know, you'd think mother, father, 2 little children would be safe on a hiking trail. Uh, yeah, and that's just what these idiots love, right? These psychopaths, they love putting people in fear. I don't know if anybody has seen behavior analysis of Brian Koberger as they did the victim impact statements. Yeah, he was enjoying it. The fact that they were scared, and he was angry with the Gonzalez family, angry and triggered. JDR, I gotta say, he's a year older than me. He's still pretty doggone yummy. Okay, he's got the moves still. I mean, seriously. Uh, Last night I listened to an inmate that was in the jail where BK is, and BK has access to TV, games, etc. Said he's a big guy and that he is very smart because of studying criminology or whatever. You know, all the interviews that I've seen, everyone says that he is very intelligent. Very intelligent. But book smarts and common sense are 2 different things. I don't think Koberger has any common sense. And yes, they all have access to TV, games, all of it. The best person to listen to about what they have access to for real in prison is Jumpsuit Pablo. He is an ex-con, right? But he's turned his life around. He's got out of jail. He's turned his life around. Got out of prison, I should say. Turned his life around. He's, doing well. And he kind of talks about, in fact, he was just, I was just watching one today, so I don't know if it came out today or yesterday, about Brian Koberger and what he's going to face his first week in prison, that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, go see Jumpsuit Pablo. He has a scoop. Hello, Renee. Yes, the principal that let him resign after inappropriate activity with little girls needs call out. I thank God that those 2 little girls got away. I don't think he meant for that to happen. The parents were probably yelling at them to run. And they did. I think someone needs to be caring when hiking after what we've seen this summer. The cats are no longer, right? People can cry all they want, gun control, but, we also have a right to defend ourselves, Now, having said that, I don't think that AK-47s are necessary to be in the hands of the public. Maybe some people aren't too thrilled with that idea, but, regular shotguns for hunting and handguns for personal safety, I'm all for. It's not guns that kill people. People kill people. Mainstream news seems to be reporting on these things a lot more to try and keep people inside, always online. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Could be, I guess. Never know what anybody's motives are. Tammy, you listen to Jumpsuit? Yeah. I mean, he could possibly help people with their appeals and stuff. Criminal justice guys, I mean, he could be used in prison to help other prisoners. That's kind of what Lori Vallow wants to do, right? Yeah, right. She's not smart at all. My goodness, JDR. I went to 2 Shakespeare plays and a fundraising dinner. I walk every day and do yoga. I refuse to stay home. I go alone and enjoy life. You're in Canada, a low crime area. Good for you. Now you have to finish the story, Osprey. You had a break-in at your house while you were at work. My mean 150-pound Newfie dog is sleeping on the deck. I go into the house knowing I shouldn't, but I do. I'm armed with my dog and bat. I hear snoring. Finish, please. We want to know the rest of the story. Yeah. And that's the thing. They're always going to, there's always going to be, the black market out there. So that's why I said, even if you banned guns, like you said in Canada, they still can find them. They still can get them, right? So I believe the public as a whole has a right to defend themselves, and do it the right way, get a permit for it, right? And do it the right way. You open the bathroom door and there's a guy nodding in the shower. That's what the inmate said. He could help prisoners. Yeah. Ugh. He'll be helping the worst of the worst. What did you do then, Osprey? And don't leave us in suspense here. Dogs decide to bark. He moves. I run and call 911. I wait outside for the cops. The guy greets me at the door and asks me what I want. Like it's his house, huh? What do you want? Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but that's awful. But I wouldn't have gone in. I would have called 911 and probably left. I don't think I would have stuck around, but that's me because, you know, oh man. He's- he told the cops you broke in. Well, that's not gonna fly because you have keys, right? You have you have your ID and you probably had bills inside to show that you live there. What an idiot. But criminals are stupid, guys. They're just stupid. Hello, Jen Jen. It is better to laugh than to cry. I mean, hearing about it after the fact and the way that Osprey is telling it, I mean, seriously. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad that they didn't believe him and took him away. Uh, um, what kind of sentence did he get for that, Osprey? I'm curious. I had the scared 150-pound dog who hid behind me, right? Yeah, I've often thought the same thing. Lacey loves people so much that I don't think yeah, I don't think she'd do anything. The rifles are being banned based on how they look. Gotcha. Well, you know what I'm talking about though, Mr. Hemi? You know, if you're a hunter, you don't need a gun like an AK-47, right? I mean, or you're not going to have anything left of the meat. I'm just saying. You know, so any gun like that, I guess is what I'm saying. Those types of gun belong in the military, right? They don't belong on the streets. Does that make sense? That's what I'm kind of trying to to get at. And listen, I my uncle, um, bless his heart, he's in heaven now, but um he had been in the Vietnam War. He had a supply of he was a gun collector. He had a big supply of guns, right? He just incredible. I mean, like 4 gun cabinets full of guns. He was a avid collector, all kinds of AKs, everything, SKS, everything. So, you know, it's not that did he did he ever do anything wrong? Did he ever no, right? So I don't think that just because people have them um that they're going to do something with them, but I think when they're accessible, you know, to we've seen school shootings with AKs, right? You know, mass shootings with that kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, honestly. I really don't. Because I do know they're going to get them underground. Criminals have contacts. And obviously, they're probably the ones that can't buy them to begin with, right? But they're going to get them. They're going to find a way to get them. Oh man, that's awful, Osprey. Are you afraid? that they'll be back. You'll go, yeah. 300 in his house. Wow, my uncle didn't have that many. He's strangled, yeah. There's no answers, are there? Just no answers. Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. I don't think banning guns is the answer. But anyway, I think it was Walla that asked last night if we were going to listen to more of Mike DeMann, and yes, we are. Well, I don't have a spouse anymore. So I'm safe. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding about that, but I am. Yeah. Or a child opping us. I don't think my 2 girls would do that, but I see what you're saying, JDR. There's a lot of that happening, isn't there? A lot of it happening. Hello, Ariel. Good to see you. All right. So we were going to listen to Mike DeMann tonight. So actually, I want to pull it up. I recorded it because he had said, guys, he's got a problem with I think his windows were open and someone was doing the weed eater or a leaf blower outside. I think it was a weed eater though. So I recorded it because he said he was just going to put it on members only. And I wasn't sure if that's what he was going to do or not. Let me look here. No, he didn't put it on members only. So we'll go ahead and watch it. I'll watch him. All right. And so he's talking about certain phrases that some of these people like Daniel, Malaya, Chris Proudfoot make and what it means. Yes, he did get mad. He's so funny. I don't really care for him taking the Lord's name in vain, but he is funny. He's just funny. He got really frustrated. So let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say here.
Even though certain phrases are very socially accepted, they still indicate deception. As I have said before, when you're dealing with spokespersons, politicians, just professional press people, journalists, and so on and so on, deception is a huge part of everyday language. So when somebody talks about my side of the story, they are telling you two different things. The first thing they're telling you is that there's a story that applies. And the story is not what you're going to reference when you speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Chris
And
Watt,
when you
too,
say
per
my
warrior.
side of
Watt.
the story, you also acknowledge that there is a story where at least partially the other side is not telling us the whole truth either. So you recognize something is missing, something may be misleading, if not deceptive, but part of the other side is correct. Because if somebody accused you of being the person who unalived your wife, well, let me tell you my side of the story. No, you would say, I didn't kill her. It's the truth. I didn't do it. Well, let's look at it like this. Let's hear your side of the story. What the hell are you talking about? My side of the story. I'm telling you the truth right now. I have no need for this rhetoric. And I have no tolerance for this rhetoric either. Because at no time will I allow the space at no point will I ever allow a gap or space that puts it into question whether or not I'm going to tell the truth, or allow any entry points into another scenario. The truth doesn't need a story. It is very simple, people. Yes, this is often phrased when you have somebody who's a moderator on TV or in live chat, or when you have a discussion forum, especially a political one, when the guy who's holding the forum may think they're all full of it, right? So yes, Senator, why don't you give us your side of the story? Because they figure we're not going to get to the truth anyways. We're just going to see, who has the best story. That's going to resonate the best with people. And they get desensitized because they realize that people buy into all kind of crap. So the view from these journalists' point is not necessarily, it doesn't matter if they're going to lie to me or not. What matters is viewership. What matters is people will eat it up. And people are more prone to accept a sweet-sounding lie than a harsh truth. And waiting for somebody to fix the word for them without wanting to do anything. And these kinds of weaknesses are getting exploited. But what we seem to do is get desensitized to deceptive language. And that is why many times I hear from people, well, I use that phrase all the time. Think back to when you were maybe a child and you started using that phrase first. There must have been a point where you became familiar with it and comfortable with it. But it always starts somewhere. Maybe at one point you needed to convince somebody of something. Maybe you didn't have the qualifications, or your homework was not prepared enough, or what have you, that you felt the need to allow yourself the space to create a balance in your mind, with your mind knowing what I'm about to say is complete BS. But all of these habits start somewhere when somebody always says, to be honest, truthfully, there's a big possibility at one point in this person's life, as a child, they felt a need to lie. Or they felt the need to convince because people didn't believe them. Maybe the parents or teachers didn't, oh, it's damn noise, man. Sorry, but I can't help it. All of these patterns begin somewhere in people's lives. And when they start, they rarely stop. However, you can successfully unpattern yourself. And as time goes by, we actually, the less there is a need, as a perceived need, to apply these patterns. As in, I don't care if people believe me. I'm going to speak the truth. I say it like it is. Then you will get to the point where you may drop these patterns more and more. You're still going to go to them the moment that you feel like you need to convince somebody, sure. But overall, you're going to use it less and less and less. As you will use these patterns less and less and less, you're going to be more and more able to express yourself because the fear is gone. When the truth is on your side, fear disappears. You don't think about how you have to word something. Jesus Christ, man. Anyways, I didn't plan for this. Okay. Yeah. I will just make this I will just put this in the membership only section. And listen, guys. So what I'm trying to say to you is, what I am saying to you, do not get desensitized ever to language. Do not assume or interpret other people's language. People will tell you exactly what is on their mind, on their minds. And what is on their minds is a story. This is telling us there is a story, there's a fabrication going around. And part of what the other person is telling you is not truthful. So at least I have an entry point somewhere. But mine, this is taking ownership. If the other person has a right to do it, so do I. I have the right to be a little bit, to take my freedom with the truth. I have a right to also not tell you the whole truth and instead give you a story. Overall, it is all a story, more or less. You're not likely to figure out what actually happened. So don't expect answers. Don't expect real answers. But I'm going to defend myself. And I'm not the only one who may skip a few things or not tell it exactly like it is. But I have a right to do it. There is a sense of entitlement here when you talk about your side of the story.
Take a little break from his noisy noise. It does stop, guys. But while we were listening, while we were listening, I did pull up some pictures. So you guys said that see odd things about people. Okay, so you guys said that they had big foreheads. Okay, so let's look. Let's look. All right, here is Brian's. He does have a big forehead, guys. This was a picture he took when he got home from red rumming the Idaho 4. Very proud of himself, but look at that forehead. Chris Proudfoot. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's bigger. Not quite as big as Brian's. Chris Watts. Yeah, if he didn't have the widow's peak coming down, he'd have a really huge forehead. And then somebody mentioned Ed Gain. Is it their brain, guys? Is there something extra in their brain that's evil that makes them have a bigger I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm just saying. You guys were asking it, so I thought I would show you. Oh gosh. We're all of us women are going to cut bangs tonight, right? uh yeah, well, Mike calls her a sociopath, but you know what, guys? I think of Dr. John Matthias. He's a forensic psychologist on Hidden True Crime with Lauren, his wife. He's very careful to say, I have, I cannot give you a diagnosis without evaluating them. So I cannot tell you if they're a sociopath. Does it seem like they exhibit traits of a sociopath? Yes. And in my opinion, that's what Mike should have said. But Mike clearly called Katie a sociopath. And yourself, he has not evaluated her. So I don't think he should have done that, right? You are right, Osprey. Now, every time that we we see somebody that's got evil eyes, we're going to be looking at their forehead, aren't we? I could just see it. Somebody will call you and say, "We got him," and you're going to say, "Does he have a big forehead?" They'd be looking at people in the grocery store. Yeah. Oh, that would be really important, wouldn't it, Prayer Warrior? If they got a big forehead, stay away from them. Yes, he does, doesn't he? And I just picked up the first one I saw, so they're all black and white on him. Hi, Kimmer. Good to see you. You're under arrest for your big forehead. You look at Ed Gain, and then you look at Brian. Holy cow. This picture, even though even his eyes are smiling, guys, look at how dark they are. But it's really eerie because it was after he got home from red rumming them and took a shower. You still see his hair is wet. And so he shows himself in the bathroom with a thumbs up and a big smile on his face. Very proud of himself. Ugh. The man, to me, he's sick. Very sick. Very sick. But all right, are we ready to listen to a little bit more? I know, Osprey, that was gross. Yeah, right. Even his skin is pasty, but they say it takes a lot of energy and strength to physically stab someone like that. So, and from the sounds of it, he and Xana fought. She fought hard for her life. But he not only did one, he did 4. And it's no wonder why he walked right past Dylan. He didn't have any more strength. He even took a moment and sat down in a chair in Xana's bedroom after he was done. So I would think that's why his skin is pasty here. I don't know. But the other thing I was going to say is that, did you guys look at his arms when he was, for his sentencing? It looks to me like he's lost a lot of weight. And could that be because of his stupid diet where he won't eat anything that's been cooked in a pot that had meat in it? And so he's only, I don't know. He's a weirdo. Maybe he's on a hunger strike and he's going to die. I don't know. I don't know. It was in the documents that something, I don't know if they found blood on the chair or the way that, blood smears or something. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They would know that though. Hello, Bobby. Granny giggles. That's funny. No good news, unfortunately. But we are laughing. Ted Bundy has a big forehead too. You're kidding me. I didn't even think of Ted Bundy. Let me look. Everybody thought Ted Bundy was a good-looking man, but oh my gosh. Wow, guys. Ted Bundy. There you go. What the heck? Have we figured out something other people haven't figured out? Osprey, you know, son of Sam, you're going to want me to pull up all these people. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we have to look, right? We have to look, don't we, guys? We have to look to see, does Durwood have a gigantic forehead? Do we want to look? I think that, yeah, I don't think he's that good looking myself, but I mean, he's not ugly. I mean, he's not a Brian Koberger, right? But I think we need to look to see if Durwood has a big forehead. Let's look.
Durwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Durwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Durwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Durwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadow's having a ball. That chair is jealous, can't compete at all.
Yeah, I think without those curls on his forehead, he would have had a big forehead. But as far as we know, he hasn't done anything yet. So I will say this, my dad had a big forehead. My dad was the most loving guy you'd ever meet. But and he never ever took anybody's life. So, but yeah, it's kind of strange that all these guys have big foreheads. What about Gilgo? Does he got a big forehead too? Let me look. um so here is he's got his bangs combed over, but guys, look at if he combed his hair back, look how big his forehead would be. Eileen Warnos, yeah. Change the N on this shirt to a D. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to make fun of Durwood's nose. And the reason for that is because I think he might have that condition, rhino, whatever. So, yeah, not going to do that. So, does it work for women? Let's see, Eileen. Where else? Oh my God. What is up with this? Oh, at some point, I think this might be the last picture that I do because this is scary. Man, it doesn't even want to come up. It's so scary. There it is. That's Eileen for you. Me too, Bobby. I would, but you guys want me to take Eileen's? You haven't wanted to hurt anyone like those people have. That's what I say, right? I know. She's scary. She I gotta take her picture off. She is scary. Oh. I don't even think I want that on my computer anymore. I'll have to take it off. That song is way too funny. Yeah. Every time, I mean, you look at did Charles Manson have a big head? I said I was gonna stop. I just want to see Charles Manson. Did he have a big head? Oh my gosh. Last one I'm looking up, guys. There we go. Charles Manson. He had the big forehead too. Eileen, no, I wouldn't want to either. I don't know if she was the first, maybe woman. I don't know. Yeah. Definitely. John Gacy. Yeah. It's really interesting though. I wonder if there's something to that. Good catch, Osprey. I would have never thought about that ever. Weird. All right, let's continue on with Mike.
I have a right to do it because the others are doing it as well. My, meaning you cannot touch it. I take ownership. I take ownership of this site. When you talk about not my truth, but the truth, the truth is unshakable. Somebody will come in and say, wait a minute, I just caught something. Look at the timeline here. You said at 8:47, you looked up at the clock and the train was coming. But now you're telling me, okay, blah, 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 blah. Oh, crap. You're right. You have just proven me wrong. It is not the truth, because there's only one truth. And I don't care how many times people are talking about my truth, there is no such thing as my truth. Unless you're referring to the truth and you're holding it close to your heart. But you, in a discussion, especially if you're accused of something, are never going to say, it is my truth, if you're 100% innocent, if you have nothing to lie about, if you are only interested in people understanding what exactly happened, and you don't focus as much on what somebody else may allege. You don't go into big stories. Well, how would I have done this? And how? No, that's what you do when you don't have a reliable denial. I didn't kill her. Why should I believe you? Because it is the truth. Unshakable. I don't care what you think. And before I allege anything, right? So, for example, when Amanda Knox, when I communicated with her on Twitter, she immediately accused me of mansplaining or whatever it was, because I asked her, so what happened? What do you know? I didn't ask her what happened that night that Meredith Kircher was unalived. I'm asking you, what do you know about it? Because I don't want her to have a chance to say, what do you mean what happened? I said, I told you I wasn't there. But I don't recall her ever being asked in public, what do you know? In that situation, she immediately went on attack, questioning my intentions for asking. She has no clue who I am. She has no clue also. Well, I don't know if she even read. Peter Hyatt did a very lengthy analysis of her back in the days on justice.org. For those of you who are interested in reading up on things, very interesting. But I only remembered vaguely his blog posts about her. And I saw, and yeah, people claim that she, listen, I agree with Hyatt on this one. Trust me. So I asked her, what do you know? The answer should be, I don't know anything. I wasn't there. But when somebody first goes straight into accusing, there is no denial. And she used the phrase, My guilt. That people want her to admit to her guilt or something like that. Or I forgot this long, drawn out crap that she actually wrote. I mean, I posted it um, on my thing. I made a YouTube post. You can look it up under community. My guilt. And she has done something similar. My something else that's in the analysis that Peter Hyatt did, in the statement that she gave police that night. If somebody alleges guilt and you're not guilty, you will never refer to it as my guilt. Never. If the truth is on your side and can stand on its own, you're never going to call it my truth. These are very important, what you take ownership of.
I agree what he's saying, guys. Right? There's only one truth, right? I think that it's the my truth thing has become somebody made it popular, right? You know, like little sayings with every generation, right? There's, somebody made it popular and people ran with it. But it really is deceptive. I agree 100%. BYK forehead went all the way to the back of his head. You mean BTK? Gotcha. Yeah, because there's only one truth, right? And then what's the other saying? There's the truth, my truth, and their side of the truth, or something. What a bunch of baloney, right? Because truth is truth. You can't whitewash it. You know, it it just is. It's absolute, right? Their eyes pierce through a person. They look at humans as no more important than a stick of wood. I agree. Yeah, verifiable facts. Yes, I agree. That's really true. Social media is great for creating little mantras which are meaningless, right? And people think it's so, oh, that sounds so cool. I'll have to use that, and like, you know, and yeah, it doesn't work. I can't imagine ever saying my guilt unless I was really talking about something I was guilty of, right? um, Other than that, I mean, if it was relevant to the situation, I could see using my truth to say, in my instance, this is true. Culture, lifestyles, experience. I get what you're saying, Walla, but it's still the truth. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh, affirmations totally different, right? Affirmations are different. We're not talking about affirmations here at all. Yeah, I used to say them all the time to myself. I kind of gotten away from that. I don't know why, um, but yeah, I mean, affirmations can really help you see yourself in a better light and help your mind get focused on the right things. But I think what he's talking about here is basically those that are guilty, right? Those that have guilty knowledge, when they say my side of the story, my truth, right? uh, you know gives you pause. Yeah, can raise cause to question context, right? Exactly. I mean, to me, if somebody said, well, my truth, I'd be like looking at them and thinking, okay, but what is the truth? Right? I mean, I'd be thinking there's more to this than what they're telling me. I'd be questioning. That's me though. Well, yeah, I mean, I get it. Yes, the criminal plays the victim. What it is, in my opinion, is believing in your own BS. Right to the point, Osprey. You're right. You're right. My side of the story, it's believing your own BS, my truth, believing in your own BS, my guilt. Yes, you're right. You're right. Oh gosh, you guys are great.
It's taking ownership and making it untouchable. Well, this is my side of the story. Okay, you cannot dispute it. If I tell you it's the truth and I skip a couple of, I contradict myself, then you can say, well, you're lying. When you say in the beginning, well, that's my side of the story, well, that's exactly what it is. You don't like it?
It's truth. So true. They're saying it because they don't want you to dispute it. You can't dispute it because they're saying it's their side of the story. But if they tell you something, this is the truth, but then they lie later, like Daniel has, like Janie has, then we can say, you lied, right? That's a good question, Ginger. Is it narcissistic to take ownership of truth? Could be. Could be. Interesting.
Get it. I'm going to stick with it. It's my side of the story, but it's not the truth. So, the same way, if somebody says what happened was is similar to this story goes once upon a time, and you don't feel the need before you tell what happened to say what happened was. You don't feel a need to convince us that that is what happened, and you are expected to be eager to tell us the truth if that is what you're planning to do, to defend yourself. You're not going to go into a long drawn out storyline. And what I said just now about Amanda Knox, first you give me a denial that you don't know anything. Then you can allege, then you can say, you know what? Why are you asking me this? It's been asked of me many, many times. Or the police already asked me and I'm cleared. Why are you bothering me? Are you And then you can make your accusations. But before you make accusations, you are expected to say, I didn't do it. If a suspect is asked, if he, whatever, did you commit this crime? No, I didn't. Well, I think you did. I did not. And why are you asking me? I told you I didn't. Well, but you know what? What's your problem? Then you may hear accusations of racism, accusation of homophobia, accusations of mansplaining or genderism or what have you. But the first thing that we need is the clear denial. And she skipped that part because she had no denial of knowing what happened that night, which is why she went straight to attack, trying to divert and not have to answer. When somebody says what happened was, it means pay attention to me and believe what I say. They first demand your attention and to be believed. And then they may look at you, may look in your eyes and say, okay, this dude is ready to be BS'd. Right? I can BS him. I can bullshit him right now. I see it in his eyes. He's ready to buy it. He's ready to, eat out of my hands. Those are the tactics people use when what they're saying has an intention behind it that they want to hide from you. What happened was indicates what I'm about to tell you is not what happened. It's going to buy myself some time. What happened was, and I also may need to think, because it's not easy to lie and keep a story straight and still word it in a way that is halfway believable to most of the people. Okay, so, and many times they do eye contact with you. They want to read your reaction and see, am I doing okay? There is always that need for acceptance and the need to get a green light. And when they realize that something that they said may set you off, and you say, wait a minute, no, but then they will pause immediately. If it is done in a talking manner. Remember Daniel Martel, when he kept crying and kept looking up to see how they would react. I know. Did you do it? I know I didn't kill her. No. I didn't do it is the reliable denier. I didn't. I didn't, and then you can say, I didn't do it, I didn't. Then the accusation comes. Whatever you're being accused of. Whatever the accusation was can follow. I didn't take the money. I didn't hurt her. Does it fit? You must acquit. Yeah, okay, good enough. I know I didn't.
Doesn't fit. You must have quit. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys realize that was from O.J. Simpson's trial. That's a good thing. I mean, not a good thing, but that's a good question. Do you believe people who hurt or red rum people while sleepwalking? There have been several cases of this. I don't know. I don't know. Tammy, I really don't like Google's definition. It makes no sense. My truth is a truth that is true but knowable only to you. It's weird. That's weird. You recognized it immediately, OJ. Yeah. Yeah. Infamous line, wasn't it? Infamous. Infamous. Um, you know, Daniel said, I 100% didn't do it. Oh, Daniel. Right. Daniel. We could have lots of discussions on the word truth, couldn't we? Yeah, we really could. Um, I mean, seriously, I could tell you something that was true and say it was my truth, but is it just mine? I mean, see, we could have so many conversations, right? My truth is the sky is blue. Is that my truth? It's the truth, right? If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Yeah. I'm sorry, when leather gets wet, it shrinks. Can't remember if Daniel has a big forehead. Let's see if I still got that up there. Oh, he's got a hat on here, so I don't know. Let's wait. Here's a better. Oh my gosh. There you go. You asked if Daniel had a big forehead. We can all witness the same thing and fish face. Well, we can all witness the same thing and see something very different. That is where my truth come into play. Yes, it sure does. I believe that leather glove was his, but it was soaked with blood and it shrunk. That's what I think. How long after did he try to put that glove on? How long had it been? Right, Kate? Could you imagine a courtroom? Do you swear to tell your truth and nothing but your truth? That's a good point, Kate. Really good point. I love it. I love it. You nipped it in the bud right there. It's the truth, right? Yeah, it makes me mad that he got off. Everybody knew he was guilty. Everybody did. The infamous Bronco chase. He's going to kill himself. Idiot. But I want to get to the part where he talks about Mama's boy. So let's see if we can get there.
Do it is not only unreliable, it indicates, it tells us that you are unable to deny it. I know I didn't do it because you take ownership right now. This is similar to my truth.
And that would make his fingers swell too,
I know
JDR.
I didn't. You're not going to tell me what I know and what I don't know. I know I didn't do it. Back off. This is mine. This is my statement. I'm first taking ownership and telling you, you cannot touch it. The truth is everybody's truth. My truth is something that's only mine. And it doesn't have to be the truth. And I'm telling you, I'm entitled and don't feel the need to prove myself, and that I cannot prove that it's true. Because it's not true. The truth stands on its own. And the truth is powerful. Speak the truth, and the truth will speak for itself.
I just wanted to, I agree with you, Tammy, that any of the possible suspects would not have a problem lying under oath. However, it's the witnesses, right, that would take it very seriously as far as, you know, do you agree to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, right? They're the ones that take it seriously. And then the jury as well. Yes, OJ was bloated from the untreated arthritis. I agree with you.
People who are regularly deceptive develop patterns for deceptive language also enters their vocabulary. But whenever there is a real accusation, there's a criminal case, somebody got hurt, somebody went missing, something very serious happened, and somebody looks at you in a way like, I bet he had something to do with it, and expresses it, you will not move on to anything else before you say, wait, what you say? What did you say? Daniel was asked, did you have anything to do with the disappearance of the children? He should have said no, or I didn't have anything to do with it. Not even I didn't do it, because we would have to ask, what does it mean? Please define it. When you have the plain truth, there is no room for questions. It is factual. It's almost like a mathematical equation where you don't leave any space for any extra rhetoric. I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with it. Full stop. End of sentence. Then you may say, I don't know what happened, or later you can even accuse people of, you know what, because I live in a trailer, you think I had something. If people keep nagging and people don't want to believe you and express that they don't believe you, what do you want me to do? I've spoken the truth. And then you may get angry and say, you know what, I think you don't like me. I think you have something against me. I think that you consider me to be whatever. And then you can assume that the person has some kind of motive. But first, you're going to deny it. But Daniel said, I 100% did not. Did you have something to do with it? I didn't. I 100% is added language. You don't add anything to it. Count on your fingers what it's added to the reliable denial in the same sentence. And you're going to see a number. The larger it gets, the more removed it becomes from the truth. Percentage entered his mind. Why? Because I believe that in his mind, he is not responsible alone. He is not solely responsible. in his mind, at least he's telling himself that. He thinks, in my opinion, that the fact that Malaya was unable and unwilling to discipline her children pushed him into a position where he feels he was at least somewhat justified, or he was pushed towards the edge, being high on drugs and all of this crap and being mentally unstable and being a, unstable mama's boy. I always talk about these, I call it the unstable mama's boy syndrome. Same with Brian Laundrie, Chris Watts, to some extent Chris Proudfoot. They want to make mommy proud. Yeah, Chris Proudfoot, how he reacts when you bring up his mommy. Chris Watts says, I'm not going to tell you, you guys know the story already. I talked about it in many of my videos. But when you have this unstable mama's boy, he oftentimes, if mommy hates somebody, the son, the unstable mama's boy, will express that hatred more than mom is doing it. In the back of his mind, he wants to make mommy proud, and mommy is always right. So if Jack and Lily were really bad kids and mommy hated them, he felt somewhat justified to snap. And he was pushed over the edge in his own mind. So was he guilty? Not 100%. He doesn't take full ownership of it. And he believes that. He, in his own mind, believes that whatever he did, he wouldn't have done had Malaya managed to keep her children quiet. And that is what is leaking. And that is the comforting balance required for him to make it through these interviews. Well, I did. You guys don't know the full story. Well, I didn't. It wouldn't have happened if she managed to do her job as a mother. Similar with the Proudfoots. If we had all the money in the world to put Sebastian into the best school, the boarding school, or somewhere where we can, put him away, never have to see him again, none of this would have happened. Yeah, that's how they truly think. They are convinced of that. So what Daniel feels comfort in is his thought, I'm not a bad guy because I wouldn't have done it had Malaya only done her job. This is guilty knowledge leaking. He is unable to make a reliable denial. As I have said, we are scared to lie. And it takes work to lie. It is hard to lie. Why? Because when you tell a lie, the truth can break you. The truth can not only break the lie, it can also break you. You are a blatant liar. Now I'm not going to believe any. Oh my God. Police will say, what the? Now, the so-called white lie is still a lie. So when Chris Proudfoot was asked, did you all take a polygraph? Yep. And the result is passed, or with flying colors, whatever he said that day. But later he said, well, you said you all, and my wife did it, so when he hadn't taken a polygraph at the time. So he was able to tell a story and make it kind of fun. But it's different with Katie. And she's a true sociopath. A sociopath is able to lie blatantly, but also sociopaths have a much easier time passing polygraphs when they're guilty and giving reliable denials when it's not reliable. So the sociopath test. First, we have to ask ourselves, and there are certain language that gives a sociopath away, which is going to be, by the way, a 5-hour session I'm going to have. Because I learn more and more about that every single day, and it's extremely interesting. But sociopathy is very rare. So what we like to focus on is the 99% or whatever. I don't have statistics right now. But you get the drift. The truth. It's hard to tell the truth when you're telling a lie. It's easier to have deniability. And deniability exactly is what Daniel is giving himself. Well, he's thinking about 100%. No, not 100%. Well, what I mean is, you see, when people feel the need to tell you what I mean is, when you get to the point where you have to explain what I mean is, then you already didn't keep it simple. And the truth is simple. And of course, it helps people who want to sidetrack. It helps people who want to confuse you. It helps people who have absolutely nothing to say at times, but say it in an elaborate way to keep you busy listening. Because while you're busy listening, you may start to like the people. Chris Proudfoot always said, people assume to know us, but don't really know who we truly are, or something like that. Well, if this person gets to know me, he'll probably like me and he'll forget. He doesn't want to think I am guilty.
I don't have a need to get to know Chris Proudfoot. Good point, Osprey. Janie's interview, she kept saying Daniel was a boy, then correct herself and say, man, unstable mama's boy. I almost put that as my headline today, and I thought I better not. Oh my gosh. Let's see where I am with all you guys. In the context of criminal justice, truth is not a singular, absolute concept, but rather a multifaceted idea that involves the accuracy of facts presented and the fairness of the legal process. Let's see. You guys were really talking. Okay, so let's see here. Yes, he did talk about what happened was, meaning they're going to lie. If they have to say that, they're buying time. They need to think because they're going to fabricate a story. He's not solely responsible for what he did. Yeah, that's why he used the 100% thing. He's blaming Malaya. Now, do I think Daniel's blaming Malaya? Part of it, I do. Do I think that I don't know if Daniel harmed the kids. I don't know. And you guys know that I've leaned more toward accidental rug overdose, right? And then a panic to do away with kids. But I do think that Daniel does blame Malaya for a lot of stuff. Yeah. Mommy is always right. Mommy's heart doesn't lie, guys. Mommy's heart tells the truth. Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh. Unstable mama's boy syndrome. I know, right? I agree. I don't think he's solely responsible. There were 4 people there that night, I think, in my opinion. See, I don't know if he offed them. I just don't know about that, you know. Yeah, Janie even said my boys wouldn't do that, right? I could see Janie nagging him to control the kids and go over Malaya's head to control the kids. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Yeah, I know you guys are talking about working with, human behavior stuff and elderly and all that. I give you guys kudos and credit because, yeah, I would never have had the patience for that. Just some people are gifted for that kind of thing, right? Yeah, she very much protects him. He's quite the mama's boy. No doubt. No doubt. I was wondering if she was the one who went over telling him to calm down on the kids, but didn't that morning. Nope. But Daniel has said that Justin wasn't there that night. But I mean, can we believe Daniel? This is Mike DeMann. He is a statement analyst. And I'm not looking forward to any kind of a 5-hour study on sociopathy, guys. We're not going to watch that. So if you're interested in sociopathy, go for it. But I'm not going to go watch a 5-hour study on sociopathy. No. And I don't agree. I mean, it's awesome that he's learning about it. But one of the things I'm sure that he's being told is you cannot diagnose somebody with sociopathy or sociopath at all unless you have, analyzed them, interviewed them, worked with them, right? You can pick out traits, but you can't, you shouldn't be saying that that's what they are, right? Yes. And that's what Daniel was talking about, or that's what Mike was talking about, was when someone says what happened was, yeah. Yep, big distraction. Big distraction. And and that's in essence what Mike is saying here is they tell you this, they give you a whole bunch of extra, but the truth is always simple. Right? But they want you to like them. See, they're more concerned about them. They want you to like them because if you like them, then you're not going to think of them as being guilty. Chris Proudfoot was notorious for that, right? Or is notorious for that. No, and in fact, I mean, Haley and Cheryl tried a little bit, but I mean, they really didn't defend her. Um, and if Durwood is related to her, he didn't do her any favors, and neither did Wade. Wade, we all believe, was pretty much telling the truth. He didn't do her any favors. He just told it like it was. He doesn't see her as being sad or upset that the kids are gone. I don't know. It's just kind of weird, right? Malea's statement when she said what happened was it's like a couple of teens sitting around the campfire telling Urban or her old videos, YouTube videos, right? The way she used to talk. We don't know. We weren't there, but something did happen, and I don't believe a word from any of them. I agree. I don't either. Yes. Janie said Justin was crying because she was crying. Guys, we may have another mama's boy, unstable mama's boy, right? I'll say that. But how many men are going to cry because their mom's crying? Just willy-nilly. I mean, it just makes you wonder. I don't think Justin was crying because Janie was crying, even though I know that's what Janie said. Maybe Janie and Daniel were putting a plan together while they were filling potholes and fixing the fence. Yeah. UMBS, unstable mama's boy syndrome. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You know, I think she has tried her best, in my opinion. Yes, I can see mommy complaining about it to the point that Daniel did something. Yes. Very controlling, a hard person. She is not soft or a nurturer. No, she's not. I'm contacting my old professor and asking them to add unstable mama's boy to the next DSM update. Good luck with that. Oh my gosh. You know, that bothered me too, Lori. Why would she say it wouldn't have happened if she went out? What wouldn't have happened? Yeah, what wouldn't have happened? Exactly. What wouldn't have happened? Good point. I'm thinking Justin Martell wasn't home, but doing the deeds and cleanup above DM and the guilty of the disappearance of Lily and Jack, premeditated and planned. And hi, wait, what? Welcome in. Yeah, he could have been. Could have been. Hey, you bring up a good point, Walla. Janie never did mention that, right? About a woman saying, it's okay, Mom, they just want to look in the trailer. Yeah, I think Ann Rule did. And then there was a professor that worked with BTK. I can't think of her name right now. That was Brian's professor in Pennsylvania. I wonder if Cheney smokes those funny cigarettes and disassociates. I don't know. The Stranger Beside Me. Yeah, I read that. I tried to see the Proudfoots as innocent, but their own words and actions wouldn't let me. I think that's true for all of us, honestly. I go into a case feeling badly for the parents of a missing child, right? I do. It's only until they show me that they're not to be trusted do I change my or make an opinion about them. And boy, Chris and Katie changed my opinion. I didn't like when that creepy tink guy was laughing at some things Wade said. Yeah, I don't that Tint's motives I question, I guess, in my opinion. Janie said she consoled Justin, right? Whatever. Mama's boy. Oh. Yeah, so I think on Monday and I think we heard that from Belinda, right, guys? That she saw Justin crying, she saw Janie, and she heard a woman say to Janie, "It's all right, Mom." They just want to look at the trailer, and Janie said something about her dog, and the officer said, I can charge you with impeding the investigation, something like that. I don't know. The whole thing was not good, but yes, Justin was crying. So makes you wonder why he was crying. Malaya said they are waiting for the police to figure out what the timeline is. that amazes me in itself, because of all people, Malaya and Daniel should have given the timeline to the police. So I don't know. That's very confusing in my opinion. Bobby. I'm not going to put that up, but oh my goodness. Janie is the sheriff on that property. Yeah. That is what I think, Lori. I don't think Justin is guilty of causing harm to the children at all, but I do think he helped, and I think he might feel guilty about it. Maybe that's why he was crying. Wait, what? And Justin was like, "This isn't going to end well," until Mama slapped him and made him cry. There's 2.5 hours out of Janie talking to a chat group. We have watched some of it. We haven't watched all of it. I mean, the overriding consensus is that Janie triggers a lot of people in our chat, including me, but I will listen if you guys wanted to listen to it all. Osprey. So you never know who is beside you unless you look at their forehead. Oh my god. Uh, maybe I need to make a collage of serial red rummers, right? Just their eyes and their forehead. That would be creepy, wouldn't it? That would really be creepy. Oh, that skunk weed is horrible. Oh, the smell of that. Yeah, possible, Kimmer, right? It's possible. Or chemicals inside the house, bleach. You've heard of kids drinking bleach, right? Um, I mean, kids will eat stuff that don't taste good. Tide Pods have, they've gotten into. So does Janie have a big forehead? If you listen to Janie, you can hear someone texting to her and she was reading none of these timelines add up. Yeah. I don't believe anything Janie says, honestly. Oh, yeah. I mean, this would be the type of situation, Tammy, right? That where you would, oh my gosh, I do not want to associate with them anymore. I'd be, yeah. And I wouldn't want to run into them in a grocery store anymore or anything like that, right? Yeah, it'd be total turning away. Walking your dog later, checking out the foreheads in your neighborhood. First, they're all blaming everyone else, but Big Burn Jam saying she blames herself. Yeah. Well, famous last words, right? I mean, if you listen to Daniel's first interview, he slips and says a few days were stressful. Stress began before the children went missing. Well, and was Malaya trying to leave? Yeah, most of us can't. Yeah, 6, 10-foot plants. Ugh. Hello, Diane. I live in country. My neighbor is a sheriff department officer. I have multiple trail cams because I live in woods and rural area and cameras on my chicken coops, ring doorbell. Good for you. That's awesome. Stay safe. Yeah. I've thought of that too, right? A lot of people store cleaning products under their sink. I did too, but my cabinets were child-proofed, and I watched my kids. They're living their lives. They're grown adults in their 40s. Hi, Melissa. They get paranoid checking out people with big foreheads. Everybody's going to be like the green hoodie guy, right? Everybody in the Sebastian Rogers case. Sumner County had to come out and say that they vetted the green hoodie person because everybody was afraid to wear their Gallatin sweatshirts because they were green. Because the green hoodie guy, oh my gosh, went crazy on the internet. Yep, definitely men involved to dispose of the kids and the woman cooking a scenario, trying to stay to the script and not doing a very good job of it. Oh, hello, Tina. When I was in my terrible twos, I drank shoe polish remover. Oh, yuck. Yeah. Camera on my garden. I do have coyotes, wild boars, deer, bobcats, all those things. Had snake and chicken coop on the 4th of July. That was not fun. Gotcha. Yuck, I wouldn't want a snake. Like a child before they lie. What happened was, yeah. JDR. I'm here with my tuxedo cat, and her forehead is lovely. Just saying. And they have a lot of relatives around them, from what I hear. USA, yes. Cheney is a personification of typing in all caps, right? All she does is shout. Yep. Somebody said 59 or 60, I think, right? I think that's what somebody said. Janie would be top dog in prison in no time. Yes, Cheryl is friends with Malaya. Not potholes, it's a pool. Yeah, but she changed it herself. She's 60. Gotcha. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. So let me see here. All right. If we get up to 50, I'll play our video again. I'll play our song again. We need 4 more. 4 more likes. So if you haven't liked, you need to do so. They would have some devices scanning inside that trailer for blood. You can't get away with that. Yeah, they typically can. They typically can. And so today, ironically, my grannyism is about truth. Imagine that, guys. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. W. Clement Stone. Truth will always be truth, regardless of lack of understanding, disbelief, or ignorance. You see 50 already? Really? Oh, wow. We're at 53. You guys. Yes, fingers crossed that they soon find little Jack and Lily. All right.
Derwood's got a swagger, a wild little flair. Struts like a model, doesn't even care. Too sexy for his chair. Yeah, he's floating on air. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, he don't care. White girls bouncing, he's a walking affair. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. His reflection winks back, yeah, it knows the deal. Every step he takes, it's a catwalk reel. The world can't handle, oh, the way he feels. He's got that vibe, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He's got that vibe, oh, that glow. A little too much, but we can't say no. Too sexy for his chair. Too sexy, stop and stare. White girl shining, he's beyond compare. Oh, Derwood, you're too sexy for your chair. He dances through the kitchen, spins in the hall. Even his shadow's having a ball. That chair is jealous, can't compete at all.
I can't unsee his forehead. There was a good picture, and if you took those curls off the top and just where his hairline was, he does have a big forehead. But so that's all I had for tonight, guys. We learned about unstable mama's boys. Unstable mama's boys. Looks like we've got Brian Laundrie. Did Brian Laundrie have a big forehead? He did, didn't he? He was bald. Oh my gosh. Oh, I got to get off the forehead thing. Thank you, Osprey. my gosh. All right. So thank you guys. Does Donnie have a big forehead? No. No, he doesn't, Osprey. At least I hope not. I'm gonna go look after this. All right, guys. You have a wonderful night. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.